Hi there, crafty friends. Welcome to my channel. My name is Michelle Fernandez. If you don't know me, I'm coming to you right now from my home in Southern California. We're going to make an everyday transitional wreath that you can have on your door in between holidays, or if you'd like, this wreath is versatile enough to keep on your door year round. You can easily switch out the bow to coordinate with the holidays, 4th of July, fall, Christmas, whatever you'd like. The wreath would work on your door year round. You can just switch out the bow. So we're gonna use a very simple greenery. I'm gonna use this bush. It's from Walmart. I got it during the spring, and I think they only have it in the spring. But hopefully it's something that you can find at your local Walmart. I was trying to use things that anybody could access, and hopefully this will be one of the things that is available. I really like it because it has a lot of different greenery. It's very varied, and it's got different tones of greens, and it's got the whites also that will give your wreath a lot of interest and variation. And we're also going to use a grapevine wreath. I like to leave some of the grapevine exposed in my designs, but this time we're going to cover the whole thing. Okay, so let's get started. I'm just working on this wreath holder that's from Michaels. It's not the best. It's kind of rickety, but I do like the fact that I can turn it around and look at the back of the wreath. And sometimes you have to work back there to clean up stems that are poking out through the back, or to secure in my bow. I like to be able to look back there. So there's a lot of wreath stands that are solid, more sturdy for sure, but I have reservations about making such a huge investment because some of these could be like $100. So for now, I'm pretty happy with this sort of $5 rickety wreath stand. So I had that bush from Walmart. Oh, here I'm showing you my glue gun, and I'm gonna be gluing in all the stems. So I trimmed all the stems from the bush, and I'm just showing you that we're gonna go all the way around in kind of a clockwise motion. So I just put glue at the end of my stem and I stick it into the grapevine. So a lot of wreath makers like to use a glue pot instead of a glue gun. I haven't tried using a glue pot, but I feel pretty comfortable using a glue gun. And I feel like with a glue pot, my space is so small where I work that it would just take up too much of my space, and I could drop something in there, I could stick my elbow in there, all sorts of things that makes me not want to try a glue pot. So here I am just kind of tucking all the stems in, and I'm just working my way around the wreath. And I'm also, if the stem is sticking out too much, then I'll bend it just to follow the curvature of the wreath. And as I was pointing out earlier in the video, this bush is so nice because it does a lot of the work for you. Instead of buying like one bush of ruscus, one bush of fern, so on, this is just varied, and you can just work a lot faster and not really think about where to place things because your bush is already varied. So I'm just speeding this up a little bit as I'm filling in the wreath, just trying to make sure the stems are nicely spread out but still covering the grapevine. I've slowed down the video again because as I'm coming around the wreath, you'll see that now my stems are going to be going up. So to kind of fight gravity there, I'm going to use some zip ties to hold my stems up. So there, I'm just looking for where my zip ties are. So the zip ties I got at Harbor Freight. I usually just get either those clear ones or black ones, and they do a great job. They're a great tool for making wreaths. So since the stems are going up, I'm just wanting to secure them to the grapevine just so they don't kind of flop down too much. But I'm being careful to ensure that I'm not like pressing down some of the leaves or the flowers too much. So I just kind of have to be mindful of that. And then I'm also bending the wire on the stem just to kind of make it go the way that I need it to go. So here I've just sped up the video again as we continue to fill in the rest of the wreath. And I will say that I usually use Gorilla brand glue sticks. I've had good luck with them. They seem to be probably the best glue that everybody recommends. It is a little bit pricey, but I really like it. And I feel confident that, the stems aren't going to fall out. Of course, we all know the hot glue isn't permanent, but as long as the temperatures aren't too extreme, the hot glue should hold just fine. I'm speeding this up again just as I continue to fill in with the greenery, and I will link that Walmart greenery in the description of the video so you can keep your eye out for it in the springtime. So I'm just going around and I'm getting up to the top, and once I fill this in, I did go back and just trim up little smaller stems just to fill in any holes that I might see. And once it's all filled in nicely, then I can make a bow and add the bow. So for the bow, we're using this burlap ribbon, then this black and white striped ribbon, and finally this black Swiss dot ribbon. So the burlap is a 2.5-inch wired ribbon. I got this from the fall section of Hobby Lobby, but I know in their regular ribbon section they have a burlap ribbon. I've never bought that one, but I can tell you that this one I really like. It's got a good wire on it, and I'm always happy to use it. So I'm doing the pinch and twist. Even though it's burlap, you can tell the wrong side from the right side because on the wrong side, the wire is a little bit more visible. And I'm doing 6.5-inch loops. So again, I'm just measuring here for the first loop. Then I will pinch the middle and twist to the other side. And as I was making this, I think because this burlap is so thick, the material or the ribbon was kind of moving around a little bit on me. So I just kept having to slow down and recheck my measurements. But I'm doing the second loop here, and I'll cut the tail about the same size as the first tail. It was, I believe, about 10 inches. So I'm just measuring there and cutting. And if I don't think I mentioned it, but I'm using a bow maker, very much like the Easy Bow Maker. And this, you can just find something like this on Amazon, or even the actual Easy Bow Maker. This ribbon is 1.5 inches, and I had gotten it from Sam's Club a couple of years ago. It is one of my favorite ribbons. It's the classic black and white stripe. So I'm going to do one short ribbon, one short tail going up, and I'm going to do 2 smaller loops about 5.5 inches. So I've sped up the video a little bit here while I'm making the rest of the bow, just measuring out the loops for the second ribbon. And I'm going to do one long tail on the bottom. And then for my third ribbon, the black Swiss, I believe I got that from an Etsy vendor. You can just search Etsy for 1-inch black polka dot ribbon, and you should get a lot of options there. So this one, again, I'm going to do one long tail, one short tail. I'm just switching sides from the striped ribbon. So the bow, I just want it to keep in neutral colors. Oh, sorry, I did 2 long tails for that one. So as I was saying, I just wanted to keep sort of neutral colors for my bow, something that would work year round and would match most people's decor. And I'm using a floral wire to cinch off that ribbon. So I just loosely wrap around the floral wire, and then I slip the bow off the bow maker, and then I pull tightly and twist the ribbon in the back. And there, I'm just checking that the loops are even, and I just twist a few times with these pliers. So those 2 loose ends of the floral wire, I'll use that to attach to the grapevine. So I'm just working the wires in through the grapevine, kind of moving some of that greenery out of the way so I could get a clear view. Once the floral wires came out through the back of the grapevine, then I just twisted them together to attach the ribbon. So here I'm going to dovetail the 2.5 inch ribbon, and the thinner ribbons I just cut at a slant. So here I just cut it at a slant. And at the end, you'll see pictures of the wreath and how it all turned out in the end. So here she is. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you learned something new. I hope to see you next time.